everyone, welcome back to Biophilia, your all-time study mate. Today we are going to continue the chapter of Animal Kingdom with the next phylum, Annelida. If you like our videos and want to help us to reach out more, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the family of Biophilia. Today we are going to start the new phylum Annelida. Annelida एक ऐसा किंगडम है जहाँ पे 9000 के भी सबसे ज़्यादा स्पीशीज़ है और ये सारे के सारे स्पीशीज़ जो है these all are going to be the worms which are metamerically segmented. So जैसे आप यहाँ पे फोटो में देख सकते हो, द फोटो में इतने सारे ऐसे ऐसे लाइंस बने हुए हैं एंड दीज वर्म्स आर कम्प्लीटली सेगमेंटेड, ट्रू सेगमेंटेशन. और एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग बात, जिन लोगों के पास एक्वेरियम होगा या जिन लोगों को फिशिंग पसंद है, दोज पीपल हु गो फॉर फिशिंग, वो पहले एक वर्म यूज करते हैं so that the larger fish can get attracted to it and it will stuck into the hook. तो वो जो worms यूज़ करते हैं एज अ बेट, ऐसे लालच के लिए कि बड़ी फिश आके उसमें अटक जाए, all that worms are going to come under this phylum. So fishing bait, the segmented worms, farmer's best friend, all these are going to be the topic of study for today's video. So let's get ahead and study about them in much more detail. सो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ एनेलिडा. एनेलिडा को जनरली जो फाइलम है उसके सारे मेंबर्स को कंबाइनली कॉल करते हैं एज सेगमेंटेड वर्म्स. जैसे आपके ग्रुप को कोई नाम देते हैं, वैसे एनेलिडा के ग्रुप मेंबर्स को because of their common characteristic that they are going to be metamerically segmented. Metamerically segmented है, what do you understand by it? हमने first video में देखा था that metameric segmentation is going to be the true segmentation. True segmentation है यानी external and internal segmentations are going to coincide. जैसे बाहर से segments दिखेंगे वैसे अंदर भी segments होंगे. So these are the true segmented worms. अब ये worms जो होते हैं they can either live in aquatic conditions, पानी में रह सकते हैं, and पानी दो तरीके के होता है, that is marine water as well as the fresh water, and even they have their habitat as terrestrial also. So for example, अगर आपको पता करना है, then the aquatic, that is marine animals. So if you consider the example for marine के लिए you have a worm that is called as neris. For your land conditions or terrestrial conditions you have a worm that is earthworm. So earthworm तो बहुत सी बार you must have seen. Then there is a condition that is fresh water. So अगर fresh water condition है then you have the example of leech or also called as hirudinaria. So leech जो blood suck करती है, these are nothing but the fresh water annelids. अब ये जो है उनके habits कैसे, how do they like to live? So mostly they are going to be free living, यानी वो अपने खाना अपने ऊपर डिपेंड करेंगे. They are not going to be parasites, यानी किसी host के ऊपर जाके they are going to suck nutrition, ऐसे नहीं होते हैं. Generally they are free living, but some exceptions होते हैं हर चीज़ में. So some are going to rely on the parasitic mode. A parasitic mode में भी generally they are going to be ectoparasites. What do you understand by ectoparasites? Ectoparasites मतलब वो बॉडी के अंदर नहीं जाते हुए बॉडी के बाहर रहेंगे. That is, out of the body they are going to stick and they are going to absorb or suck the nutrients. So ऐसे ectoparasite जो annelid है उसके example के लिए you can remember that is hirudinaria or leech. सो लीच जो होता है, ये जो कैटल्स होते हैं या जो बफेलोज होते हैं या इवन ह्यूमंस समटाइम्स गो इन नियर द वाटर बॉडीज या स्विमिंग के लिए जाते हैं कोई रिवर में, लेक में, और वहाँ पे अगर लीच का सामना हो जाता है एंड द लीच स्टिक्स टू योर बॉडी, इट इज़ नॉट गोइंग टू गो ईजीली और वो वहाँ पे बॉडी पे चिपके चिपके सारा खून पी जाएगी आपका, एंड दैट इज़ गोइंग टू लीड यू लाइक यू वोंट फील ओके विद इट. आपको एनर्जी लेस हो जाएगी बिकॉज योर ब्लड इज गोइंग टू बी सक्ड विद दिस लीच ऑन योर बॉडी. So that is nothing but the parasite, ectoparasites, which will be seen hanging out of the body. जो पहले के फाइलम देखा था that was about Aschelminthes और nematodes. So nematodes जो थे वो बॉडी के अंदर intestines में रहते, so they were endoparasites, but this are going to be the ectoparasites. Now let's see about the level of organization. वो कितना develop हुए हैं? They are developed up to the organ level of system. They are going to be bilaterally symmetrical, so you can divide them into left and right half, and these both halves are going to be equal and symmetrical. Then they are triploblastic, यानी उनके पास 3 germ layers होंगे. कौन से 3 germ layers होंगे? Just for revision, revise it. There is going to be ectoderm, then in middle there will be mesoderm, and the most inner one will be the endoderm. और सीलोमिक ऑर्गेनिजम्स होंगे. सीलोमिक ऑर्गेनिजम्स यानी क्या? उनके पास ट्रू सीलोम होगा. What would they have? They will have true coelom, and true coelom condition होना is going to be the first appearance. ये क्या है? This is the first appearance. इसके पहले कि कोई भी फाइलम में there were no true coelomic conditions. जो हमने पहले nematodes पढ़े थे, they were having pseudocoelom. उनके पहले में acoelomic थे. But annelids are going to be the first organisms which are going to have their true coelom, यानी पूरी की पूरी cavity is going to be lined by the mesoderm. So that is, these are the true coelomic organisms. Here let's see about the body form. Body form है यानी अगर आप किसी annelid को पकड़ के लेकर आते हो. For example, if you go and catch a earthworm. Earthworm मिलना बहुत easy होता है. Generally they are found in the places where there is a lot of mud open. So earthworms मिल जाते हैं. So if you take the earthworm and try to observe it, how is it going to be? उनकी जो body होगी वो body होगी metamerically segmented. Metamerically segmented, that means they will have true body segmentations. जैसे बाहर segments दिखेंगे, like for example if you see in the diagram that these are going to have lines that are visible. उनकी ऐसी body होगी, lines होंगे बहुत सारे, and these lines are nothing but a true body segments. And these body segments, if you want to just represent a single metam or a single segment, that single segment is going to be called as metamer. यानी कितने metameres होंगे? There are going to be thousands of metameres. So likewise, जो phenomenon है इतने सारे metameres present होना, that would be called as metameric segmentation. So this is a true body segmentation. If you remember about the previous phylum, that was about Platyhelminthes. तो Platyhelminthes में हमने एक एग्जाम्पल देखा था, that was about tapeworm. So if you remember about tapeworm, you had this example for pseudo segmentation. उसमें क्या होता है? pseudo segmentation यानी उनके पास जो segments होंगे they will be only external segments. उनके पास internally ऐसा कोई segmentation notice नहीं होगा. But for in annelids में क्या होगा? Annelids में you are going to have true segmentations or metameric segmentation. Now let's see about the body wall. Body wall जो होगी, there are going to be 3 major layers. First is going to be the cuticle, second is going to be segmented epidermis, and the third is going to be the muscles which are either longitudinal and circular. So cuticle जो होगा वो cuticle उसको slippery बनाएगा. So if you have ever witnessed or tried to touch a earthworm जो होगी, it is not going to be very easily kept in your hand. वो slip हो जाएगी. तो earthworm जो slip हो जाती है, that is because of presence of cuticle on its body wall. तो cuticle के नीचे होगा the segmented epidermis. So all the lines of metamer that you can visualize are going to be the segmented epidermis. अब epidermis के नीचे होंगे muscles, and these muscles are going to help them to move in that particular fashion that they move. तो contract करेंगे muscles, relax करेंगे, and because of that continuous contraction and relaxation of these longitudinal and circular muscles, the earthworm or the annelid can easily crawl. So वो जो typical movement है वो किस वजह से है? Because of the muscles that are present in their body wall. अब उनके पास कुछ जो annelids है, earthworm के पास नहीं है, but there are some other annelids. They can have their special appendages for locomotion. So they can have parapodia and they can have setae. So parapodia or setae, parapodias जो होते हैं, these are generally going to be for the locomotion. लोकोमोशन यानी मूवमेंट के लिए ये जनरली यूज होंगे, बट सीटे आर गोइंग टू बी फॉर अटैचमेंट. So जो लीच होगी या नेरिस, these are going to have this setae and parapodia so that they can attach and move in that particular fashion. Now some annelids also have special structures, और ये structures अलग अलग चीज़ों के लिए हो सकते हैं. So two special structures, first is going to be suckers and second is setae. अब suckers जो होते हैं वो क्यों होते हैं? Because there are some parasites also. So parasites, ectoparasites like leech. तो leech को क्या करना है? It has to suck the nutrients, that is generally blood. So blood को suck करने के लिए these suckers are going to help so that it can attach to that particular organism, and if it wants to move onto that body of the organism or the host, then it can move with the help of suckers as well. So next is that is setae. Setae जो होते हैं वो chitin से बने structures होते हैं. So chitin is a protein and this chitin is going to be making the setae which is used for attachment. So with this we complete the understanding of body wall. अब देखते हैं अबाउट द डाइजेशन. डाइजेशन प्रोसेस जो होगा इट इज गोइंग टू बी अ कंप्लीट एक्स्ट्रा सेल्युलर मस्कुलर डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम. अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट टू रिमेंबर, इट इज गोइंग टू बी एक्स्ट्रा सेल्युलर. एक्स्ट्रा सेल्युलर है यानी डाइजेस्टिव जूसेस रिलीज होंगे एंड द जूसेस आर गोइंग टू डाइजेस्ट दैट इन द कैविटी. डाइजेस्टिव जूसेस डिवाइड करेंगे द फूड पार्टिकल्स इफ दे आर गोइंग टू बी फ्री लिविंग. अगर वो पैरासाइट्स हैं तो उनको डाइजेशन की ज़रूरत नहीं है, बट दोज हु आर गोइंग टू बी फ्री लिविंग they will have the extracellular digestion with a complete digestive system. Complete digestive system है, what do you understand by it? There is going to be mouth plus anus present in the complete digestive सिस्टम. सो एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर यानी डाइजेस्टिव जूसेस एक कैविटी में एक्ट करेंगे एंड दी स्मॉलर पीसेस आर नॉट गोइंग टू गो एनीवेयर इनसाइड द cell membrane. Muscular है, so we saw longitudinal and circular muscles, so these are also going to help in digestion. And लीच जो एक्टोपैरासाइट है उसके पास एक स्पेशल स्टोरेज ऑर्गन होगा एंड द स्टोरेज ऑर्गन इज कॉल्ड एज क्रॉप चेम्बर्स. सो जो ब्लड सक करके रखना है वेन एवर इट नीड्स it is going to utilize. So for that storage there is going to be additional crop chamber. So even if you can see in the diagram that you are going to have mouth for the entry of food, फिर होगा pharynx. So pharynx was developed in the previous phylum as well, which was used to push the blood that was sucked. So muscular pharynx पिछले phylum से ही develop हो चुका है. Then there is esophagus, then the crop that is going to help for storage. Then there is going to be gizzard which acts like stomach. Then it is intestine, and then there will be final the exit of the undigested material that is going to be the anus. And likewise जो lumen होगा वो lumen is going to be present because these are going to be the true coelomic organisms. So उनके पास mesodermally lined coelom will be present. Now if you see about respiration, तो respiration जो होगा it is going to be the cutaneous respiration and that too on the moist body surface. So जो earthworms होते हैं, so earthworms example is much more easier to explain because earthworms if you get a chance you can experience that. So earthworms are very slippery, they are moist and उनकी जो skin होती है that entire skin which is covered by the cutin, that cutin is going to help in the exchange of gases, that is O2 coming in and CO2 going out. So diffusion की help से ही entire body surface will participate in the cutaneous respiration. Moving ahead with the circulation seen in this particular annelids. So very important point to remember, annelids are going to be the phylum which have closed circulatory system. Closed circulatory systems है यानी they will have capillaries and these capillaries are going to help in no contact with organs. Cells के साथ contact नहीं आएंगे, organs के साथ blood will not come into contact. There is going to be closed system and all the network is going to be completed. So generally you can see over here in the diagram as well कि उनके पास dorsal vein होंगी that is going to act like the main heart. Then there is going to be auxiliary hearts which are going to transversely present होंगे, and then there is going to be main ventral vessel. तो वो जो dorsal vessel ऐसे जाएगी, for example if I want to draw and show it to you, then you can see कि एक dorsal nerve ऐसे जाएगी, this is going to be your dorsal nerve. डॉर्सल जाएगी, वही वापस रिटर्न आएगी फ्रॉम द बिहाइंड एंड फ्रॉम द वेंट्रल वेन. Okay, this is going to be the case, and again these can also join at the like this, and this will form the closed circulation. Beach में you can also have transverse vein, and these transverse are nothing but the auxiliary hearts. So this is going to form the entire closed circulatory tract. अब ये सर्कुलेशन में क्या होने वाला है, सर्कुलेशन में जो फ्लूइड होगा, दैट फ्लूइड इज गोइंग टू हैव सम पिगमेंट्स. So these pigments are going to be dissolved in the blood plasma. Where are these pigments? These pigments are going to be dissolved in blood plasma. So let me rub this thing so that I can write plasma down here for you. So dissolved in blood plasma. And कौन से pigments है? There are going to be pigments like hemoglobin and erythrocytin. So ये दो respiratory pigments होंगे, so that they can carry oxygen and supply it to the places wherever it is needed. अब जो सर्कुलेशन है, जो ब्लड प्लाज्मा है, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू हैव एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ RBCs. उनके पास RBCs नहीं होंगे, they won't have RBCs, but instead of RBCs they have some free amoeboid blood corpuscles. Corpuscles यानी cells होता है, so other name for corpuscles are going to be cells. RBCs नहीं होंगे, but other blood cells can be found which are going to have locomotion with the amoeboid movement. Now very important, that is exception. Exception क्या है? हमने अभी देखा that majority of the annelids are going to have closed vascular system, यानी capillaries से they are going to be connected. But in the case of leech जो parasite है, it is going to have open blood vessels. So ऐसे आप याद रख सकते हो कि लाइक अ स्टोरी वाइज कि भगवान ने लीच को ओपन सर्कुलेशन दिया बिकॉज इट रिलाइज ऑन सम अदर्स हार्ड वर्क, कि द होस्ट बॉडी इज वर्किंग सो हार्ड टू अब्सॉर्ब द न्यूट्रिएंट्स एंड रीच इट इनटू द ब्लड, और ये लीच बिना कुछ काम किए बस उसका ब्लड चूस के इट इज गेटिंग इट्स न्यूट्रिएंट. So open circulatory system is not going to be very efficient. उनके जो ऑक्सीजन एंड डीऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड आर गोइंग टू मिक्स, सो उसकी वजह से एफिशिएंसी कम हो जाएगी. So open vascular system is not a good system when you have an option for closed. So you can remember like that कि लीच कामचोर थी, कामचोर होने के लिए भगवान ने उसको पनिशमेंट दी with the open vascular system, whereas all the others are going to have closed vascular system. So I hope with this little thing you can remember that leech has the open blood vascular system. चलो अभी देखते हैं about excretion and osmoregulation. So even I have told you about the definitions of excretion and osmoregulation कि उनका difference क्या होता है. So I hope you remember about the difference of it. So excretion or osmoregulation for annelids is going to be carried out by the coiled tubes that are called as nephridia. और nephridia जो होते हैं that are going to help for excretion and osmoregulation. अब if you remember from the previous phylums that we studied, that was Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes had flame cells for excretion. What did they have? They had flame cells. Then we studied the next, that was nematodes. So nematodes जो थे या Aschelminthes phylum जो था, they had rete cells, and now they are going to have, that is your what do you say, annelids. These annelids are going to have nephridia. So like this, if you revise the previous videos, then you are going to remember it for a longer period of time. जैसे अभी हमने क्या कि यहाँ पे नेफ्रीडिया है, तो प्रीवियस फाइलम्स में क्या था, So likewise, you are going to revise all the characteristics and try to note it down on a single piece of paper. You must have seen so many videos till now. So every time there are going to be the basis of understanding on the same points. हम हर वीडियो में एक्सक्रीशन ऑस्मोरेगुलेशन डिस्कस करते हैं, नर्वस सिस्टम डिस्कस करते हैं, डाइजेशन, रेस्पिरेशन, बॉडी वॉल, बॉडी टाइप, एवरीथिंग इज डिस्कस्ड वन बाय वन. सो ऑल दीज पॉइंट्स यू कैन नोट इट डाउन ऑन अ सिंगल पीस ऑफ पेपर, सो दैट एक ही ग्लांस में अगर सारे के सारे चीज़ें दिखेंगे देन इट वुड बी ईजियर फॉर यू टू रिवाइज दीज थिंग्स. क्योंकि till now we have reached to Annelida king. After Annelida there are going to come more phylums. जैसे phylums बढ़ेंगे confusion is going to increase if you don't revise. So for revision, if you have all that in one single piece of paper, it would be easier for you, so that you don't have to turn pages of your notebook at a very long time. So that's okay, just for the trick how you can revise all those. So let's get ahead with this excretion and osmoregulation. तो जनरली जो एनिलिड्स होते हैं, एनिलिड्स आर गोइंग टू रिलीज अमोनिया एंड यूरिया. सो इफ़ यू रिमेंबर आई हैड टोल्ड यू दैट अमोनिया जो होता है, अमोनिया इज गोइंग टू बी द मोस्ट टॉक्सिक वेस्ट. Since it is most toxic, it is going to require more water. And what for more water? More water to excrete. More water for excrete है तो उनके जो water places है वहीं पे ये अमोनिया रिलीज कर सकते हैं. सो दोज हु आर गोइंग टू बी एक्वेटिक इन नेचर, these are going to release ammonia. Those who are terrestrial, जो land पे रहेंगे, those land conditions, the organisms or annelids are going to excrete in the form of urea. So earthworm के केस में अगर if you can notice, then earthworms are going to have three types of nephridia. So if you see in the diagram as well, the three types of nephridia can be understood. That is, first the tuft of pharyngeal nephridia, the integumentary nephridia, and the septal nephridia. These are the three types of nephridia which are found in the earthworms. Now the nervous system. Nervous system is going to be the type that is double, solid, and ventral nerve cord is going to be present along with the paired ganglia. So if you can see in the photo over here as well, कि उनके पास जो brain होगा, that brain is nothing but the ganglia. It is going to be mass of nervous tissue which looks like the brain. So उसको नाम रखा है paired ganglia, and there is going to be a ventral nerve cord. So the part that you can see in yellow color, all that yellow stuff is going to be the nervous system, और जो red से है that is going to be your circulatory system. So just focus on the yellow colored part, that is going to be your nervous system. So paired ganglia, that is represented as brain, and there will be the ventral nerve cord. So with this nervous system, that is brain and ventral nerve cord, उनके पास sensory receptors भी होते हैं. These are going to be three types. First होता है statoreceptors. Stato, that means stationary. So if they want to remain stationary, they have to maintain balance. So statoreceptors are going to be for the balance. Chemoreceptors, chemo, that is chemical. So these are going to be present near the mouth so that they can taste or experience the chemicals that are surrounding their body. फिर आते हैं थर्ड टाइप के receptors, that are tactile receptors. These tactile receptors are going to be for the body surface and these are for touch. So अगर earthworm को आप touch करते हो, so that signals are going to be sent to the paired ganglia or the brain with the help of tactile receptors. Now let's see about the reproduction in annelids. Annelids में जो reproduction होगा, they can have their sexes separated. That is going to be the condition that is dioecious or unisexual. या फिर उनके पास united हो सकता है, that is bisexual, hermaphrodites, or they can be monoecious. So if you have seen continuously about biophilia videos, you know what do they mean and how to remember them easily. So trick बताई गई थी. You can go and check out our videos and stay connected so that you can have many more tricks to learn. So united है यानी वो hermaphrodites है. So annelids who are hermaphrodite, उनके examples क्या होंगे? First of all, there is going to be leech and earthworm. Leech and earthworm are going to be the two examples which are going to be hermaphrodite in nature. Then there is a word that is new to see in this phylum, that is proto-androus condition. What do you understand by proto-androus condition? Proto-androus condition, that means the worms or the organisms are going to have their male organs, यानी जो मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम होगा, the male organs are going to develop first. इसके पहले ऐसा कोई भी फिनोमिनन नोटिस नहीं किया गया था. The male organs will develop first and the females will develop at a later stage. So proto-androus condition होता है. So what is going to happen? Proto-androus condition की वजह से the worms are going to undergo cross fertilization, because जो मेल वर्म्स पहले मैच्योर होंगे, the male organs are going to develop or mature first, so sperms are going to be formed, but the eggs will not be formed in the hermaphrodite condition as well. hermaphrodite है यानी testis and ovaries एक ही organism के अंदर है, but because of proto-androus condition even the earthworm has to undergo cross fertilization. So for example, if you want to understand, so let's understand this is going to be one worm, this is going to be the second worm. Okay, उनका जो identification होता है that is because of the citellum. जो क्लिटेलम होता है उसकी वजह से यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड वेयर इज द माउथ. सो क्लिटेलम के पास वाली जो जगह होती है दैट इज गोइंग टू बी योर माउथ. सो यहाँ पे उसका माउथ हो गया and this worm is going to have its mouth over here. So these are the two worms. अब टू वर्म्स जो टेस्टिस और ओवरीज होंगे वो दोनों एक ही वर्म के अंदर साइमल्टेनियसली मैच्योर नहीं होंगे. So for example, the first worm is going to mature into a male first. So अगर वो male के साथ mature होती है and the other one, the second worm is going to mature into female at a later stage. Now these two has to come closer and undergo cross fertilization. So जो organism है, these are going to have their reproductive organs settled in such a way कि when they stand opposite to each other, that is एक का माउथ ये डायरेक्शन में होगा और दूसरे वर्म का माउथ अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में होगा, then the male and the female organs are going to be closer and the cross fertilization can occur in a better form. So that is going to be the technique that is used for earthworms even after being hermaphrodites, यानी उनके पास testis, ovaries, egg and sperm production एक ही organism में हो सकता है, but still they are going to undergo cross fertilization. Because of cross fertilizations there are going to introduction of variations. So if you have understood the chapters of 10th class in a very well condition, तो 10th क्लास में एक सब्जेक्ट एक चैप्टर था दैट वाज अबाउट मेंडल. वहाँ पे वेरिएशंस की बात हुई थी अबाउट जेनेटिक्स. सो वेरिएशंस अगर होते हैं, दीज वेरिएशंस आर गोइंग टू बी हेल्पफुल फॉर बेटर सर्वाइवल. ओके, सो फॉर बेटर सर्वाइवल कौन सा रिप्रोडक्शन टेक्निक यूज होता है? दीज आर गोइंग टू बी बिकॉज ऑफ द सेक्शुअल रिप्रोडक्शन एंड दैट टू नॉट फ्रॉम द सेल्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन, फ्रॉम द क्रॉस फर्टिलाइजेशन. क्योंकि वेरिएशंस कब आएंगे? वेरिएशंस तभी आएंगे व्हेन देयर आर गोइंग टू बी टू डिफरेंट जीन पूल्स. टू डिफरेंट जीन पूल्स है यानी टू डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिजम्स होने चाहिए, देयर जीन्स शुड डिफर and with that you can have the cross fertilization helping for a better survival. So that was about the reproduction. After reproduction comes that is fertilization. So fertilization जो होगा it is going to be external. So instead of fertilization in the female body it will be outside the female tract. Then about development होगा indirect, that means there is going to be larval formation. So larva formation is going to occur in Neris, which is a marine annelid, और उनकी जो larva है उसका नाम होता है trophophore larva. So here you can see the structure how the trophophore larva exactly looks like. So this is not going to be similar to the parent body. Parent body से ये बहुत ज़्यादा अलग दिखेगा, and that is the reason why you call it the indirect fertilization. Now we come to a point wherein जो characteristics देखे थे, where can you find these characteristics? What are the names of these annelid worms? So examples में here are some 8 examples. There are many more, but for your understanding you can remember these 8 which are frequently asked in exams as well. So first example है that is neris. जो neris है, it is also called as clampworm, sandworm, it is going to be sand. So sandworm, ragworm, and these are going to be the important food for foraging birds. जो birds water में forage करते हैं, that means they go and search for food in water itself. These are going to eat these neris worms. So वो worms को खा के अपना पेट भरते हैं. Then there is going to be the next example, that is sea mouse, Aphrodite. Aphrodite is going to be the annelid which is going to scavenge and eat the remains of dead and decaying at the sea floor. ये भी sea में होगा या ocean में होगा, and that is going to lie near to the bed of the ocean. So वो जो bed of the ocean के उधर जो भी dead and decaying animals है, उनको वो जाके खा लेगा. So in a way it is going to act like a scavenger. Next example is about paddle worms. Then is going to be bloodworms. अब जिनके पास aquarium होगा or who go for fishing, they know that these bloodworms are going to be used as a fishing bait. What are they used as? They will be used as fishing baits. यानी जो fish पकड़नी है वो fish को लालच देनी पड़ती है so that it comes and gets hooked to the hook. So वो हुक के अंदर फंसने के लिए जो लालच है, वो लालच किससे आएगी? From this bloodworm that is used as a fishing bait. Otherwise those who have aquariums at home, so aquariums में as food these worms are going to be freeze dried. उनको they are going to be dried, sun dried, they are going to be freezed, so that in a way they are going to die, and then dried, fridge dried worms are going to be used as food for the aquarium fishes. So that was the extra information about bloodworms. फिर next example है that is about earthworms. So earthworms, so everyone knows it is going to be the farmer's friend. Farmer's friend है, it is also called as ferritima. So why is it called as farmer friend? If you remember from your lower classes as well, these earthworms are going to help the farmer for manuring of the soil. ये earthworms की क्या habit होती है? These are going to go deep into the soil, and these will start boring and eat the soil particles. Soil particles को खाते हैं, and these are not going to be completely digested. धीरे धीरे कुछ कुछ nutrients digest करके remaining are going to be excreted out. वो जो conversion चाहिए of the nutrients, that nutrients are going to be converted with the help of earthworms. So वो जो undigested fecal matter है of the earthworm, that is going to be rich in nutrients, and that is going to help to make the soil or the sand fertile. So जब वो earthworm dig करती है into the soil to eat that soil particles, उसके साथ साथ वो aeration भी करती है, so that air is going to accumulate, and then the roots are going to well develop into that particular land. So that is the reason, that is aeration and composting. उसकी वजह से the earthworms are called as farmer's friend. फिर earthworm का और एक there is a blue earthworm as well, that is called as South Indian earthworm. So that is also going to be the example of annelids. फिर leech है. Leech, as I told you, it is going to be a ectoparasite that is called as Hirudinaria. It is a fresh water leech. So generally rivers या lakes में जब animals को छोड़ दिया जाता है for bathing purposes, so उस conditions में the animals have a high risk that they contact with this leech, और वो leech अगर वो body पे बैठ जाती है, then it is the owner's responsibility that the leech is going to be removed. क्योंकि अगर ये लीच को रिमूव नहीं किया, फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर एंड ऑल द ब्लड इज गोइंग टू स्टार्ट सकिंग, और फिर धीरे धीरे करके ये जो पेट है, ये पेट के अंदर सारा ब्लड इज गोइंग टू accumulate, and the animal is going to feel sick. So that should not happen. The owner should take good care so that the animals do not have any sort of ecto or endo parasites. Last example for annelids for you to remember, that is hirudo. Again hirudo is also going to be a freshwater leech, और ये hirudo जो होता है it is going to be a useful for medicinal purposes as well. उनको मेडिसिन में या हॉस्पिटल्स में भी यूज करते हैं. दैट इज द रीजन उनके जो साइंटिफिक नेम है उसमें भी उसको it has been honored with that name. So hirudo medicinalis, that is going to be the name which is going to be used for relieving pressure and restoring circulation. So generally जो tissue grafts के operations होते हैं जहाँ पे there are going to be skin taken out from some other part of your body and they will graft that tissue. तो वो grafting procedure में sometimes there is a chance that blood accumulates into that area where the tissue graft has been located और वो पूरी तरह वहाँ पे वो body ऐसे swell हो जाता है, and here all that below the swelling the blood is going to get filled and that is not a good sign. अब वो blood को कैसे निकालेंगे? So this particular leech is going to be used and it will placed on this particular swelling. अब वो swelling के ऊपर ये leech को अंडर ऑब्जर्वेशन छोड़ा जाएगा एंड अंडर ऑब्जर्वेशन व्हेन दीज आर रिलीज्ड ऑल दैट ब्लड इज गोइंग टू बी सक्ड अप. जैसे ही ब्लड सक हो जाएगा द प्रेशर इज गोइंग टू बी रिलीव्ड एंड द सर्कुलेशन विल स्टार्ट. सो जनरली व्हेन देयर आर केसेस ऑफ फिंगर ब्रोक और वो जो अक्यूमुलेशन हो जाता है या और रिकंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ ईयर्स, ऑल दैट एरियाज जहाँ पे blood accumulate हो सकता है, there the hirudo leech is going to be used. So I hope not only with the examples I tried to explain you कि ये examples के कुछ ऐसे points जो that can be asked somewhere, so that would be helpful for you. So with this we complete the characteristics as well as the examples of annelids. तो जैसे अभी हमने जो थियोरी पार्ट है जो पूरी समझ ली है अबाउट एनिलिड फाइलम. So Annelida के बाद you need to do what? You need to revise the points that we understood about the characteristics and remember the examples. अब वो जब हो जाएगा then you can start solving and test your understanding by the solving of MCQs. So here I have tried to provide the 5 MCQs. There are going to be many more that is needed to master this topic. So don't hesitate to solve many more. हो सकता है गलत हो जाए, आपको याद ना आए कि इसका आंसर क्या है, but don't worry, go back, take out your notes, take out your textbook, revise them again and that would help you to solve each and every MCQ with the +4 marks. So +4 लाने का टारगेट रखना है in each and every question, so that is going to help you to boost your preparation. So if you like our efforts to make you understand the characteristics, examples with the help of photographs, आपको questions provide किए जाते हैं. If you like all those and feel that it is helpful for you in your studies, then don't forget to let us know by like, share and subscribe. Do comment in the comment section down below how you like about our videos. Don't forget to check out many more videos which are available on our channel. Till we come back with the next part of this chapter, stay safe, keep smiling, keep studying hard. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.